Hey everybody, my name is David, and if you're like me, you're probably thinking, gosh, I wish I could do things that I would do when I was younger, like touch my toes or just simply reach up, do push-ups, regain some of that lost flexibility and some of that lost balance that we seem to acquire as we age. So welcome to my show. It's called Yoga for Boomers, and in this I'm going to show you some ways that we can work day in and day out to improve our flexibility and our balance and recapture some of those things that we lost. Now, with any program, you're going to find that the first thing that you need to learn to do, as simple as it may seem, is breathe. So you'll find that every yoga session starts out with a series of relaxing poses where we just clear our thoughts, focus on our breath, and try to relax. As we relax, we'll loosen up the muscles and the tendons and the joints so that we can get into the poses and move on from there. So we're going to start off simply by standing with our feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to breathe in through our nose, deep breaths, and breathe out through our nose. Each time, focus on the air going into your lungs. Feel your lungs and your back and your rib cage expand. As you exhale, you'll feel your stomach start to pull in and force the air out. And then, like we used to do in school, we used to call it calisthenics, but you're going to start by loosening up the joints. We'll start first with our neck. And this is a good thing to do any point of the day. Just make very slow circles. First in one direction. And then reverse it and go in the other direction. This is something that's very easy to do during the day if you've been sitting at a desk or at a computer terminal. You can do these types of exercises to loosen up. From the neck, we're going to work our ways down, and we're going to start to rotate our shoulders. And again, gently. You don't need to look like you're flying away or trying to be a helicopter. Just easily roll your shoulders. First, again, forward. And then you're going to find that everything you do goes in the opposite direction as well. So start pushing them back. Feel your shoulder blades move together as you do that. Again, focus on the breathing. Feel your chest expand. Feel your shoulders and your back loosening up. Move on down to our arms. Put our arms at the side and start to rotate your wrists. First inward. You could do a count internally. I usually do a count of 10, not necessarily 10 revolutions, but counting 1 through 10, and then the opposite direction. Then what we're going to do is we're going to extend our hand out and we're going to gently pull back on our fingers. You'll feel the stretch on the top of your arm from your elbow down to your wrist. Again, don't pull it so hard that you're bending your fingers backwards. Just want to feel a gentle stretch. Loosen those elbows up. Loosen those tendons in your arm that run down to your wrist. And then reverse it. Put the hand down and again, gently pull back on your hand. And you'll feel it all along the side and the top of your arm. As you do it with the right hand, again, balance is everything. So we're going to move to our left. And again, pull it back so that we feel the stretch from the inner elbow joint up to our wrist. Hold it for about a count of 10. And then reverse it and pull back again so that you feel it on the top of your arm. Now, if you're like me, you wake up in the morning and sometimes you feel like a board or feel stiff as a board. One of the problems that I have since I've been a lifelong runner is with my hips. So one of the things that I always start with is, again, hip rotations. We're going to go for range of motion. And again, you don't need to do it very hard. You don't need to push your hips out. Just move them slowly around in a circle. And once again, you're going to reverse the path and move it to the other side. Again, just gentle. As you start to feel a little looser, you can start to bend back with your shoulders and make a full circle, both the hips and the shoulders going back and around. Last thing on the way down to the ground, for me at least, is the ankle. So hold your knee and again, rotate your ankle. Like me, you also have some issues with balance, so I don't claim to be the best. And then again, rotate the other side as well. This one's a little easier for me. I'm not standing on the most level of ground, but again, we all lose balance. Losing balance and flexibility are the two biggest causes of injuries in older people. So keep it in mind that we want to work on balance and on flexibility. As for the flexibility, again, stretching, put your hand on your hip and lean forward to your left side. And again, we're going to hold that stretch for the count of 10. You want to keep your legs relatively straight and feel the stretch on the entire right side of your body. Don't forget to breathe. If it feels like you're forcing it, just relax. Feel the air go in through your lungs down your right side. Come back to the neutral position. We're going to do it again on the other side by leaning slightly forward and stretching that left side of our body now. You can feel the air going in and out of your lungs to give your body the energy it needs to work, and yet free up the muscles as you stretch out. And then lastly, for those of you like me who have an issue with touching my toes, I'm going to show you the easy way to get there. And it's not just bend over and touch your toes like you used to do, but it's done in stages. The first thing that you're going to do, stand with your feet shoulder width apart. And you're going to raise your hands up over your head and stretch up. Again, we're going to do this 3 times, and as we start to stretch up, we'll move up on our toes as well, elongating our spine. Again, breathing in and out as we go up. Breathe in as you go up. Move to your toes. Breathe out as you come down. Then we're going to take our hands, we're going to interlace our fingers behind our back, and we're going to bend forward. Keep our legs fairly straight. You can bend your knees a little bit, but as you do it, feel your upper back starting to loosen up. You should feel it as your shoulder blades pinch together, your hands coming up off of your back. You can just hold it there. And then for those of you who may have been swimmers, we're going to move our arms around to the front and extend them out in front of us as though we're on a diving platform and we're going to dive in. You should feel a stretch in your lower back and in your hamstrings as you start to go forward. And you can press out with your hands as you're doing this. And then grab your elbows and slightly rock side to side. You feel the lower back and your butt cheeks start to loosen up. And before you know it, you're going to be able to reach down and touch your toes. Do that a few times during the day, and you'll find that your flexibility does in fact improve. Each time you do it, focus again on the upper back
As you move your hands away from your back, you'll feel the stretch in your hamstrings, which for runners like me is a big issue. Go into your diving position and push your arms out, loosening up your shoulders. Then rock side to side, again, working on the upper hamstrings, and let your arms hang down. Your knees will bend a little bit, but then again, I don't know if I could ever do it with straight legs. So that is the start of the program. We're going to do this 10 minutes each day for as long as we can. To be honest with you, right now I've been doing this for 195 days in a row. Somebody suggested that I do a video to kind of get other people started, and that's where this all comes from. So we'll do 10 minutes each day, and as we do, we'll start with the stand-up yoga as I did today, and then we'll start to move into some other poses that we can do standing up so that you don't need to get down on the floor. And then we'll move down to the floor and show you some additional exercises that you can do. Until tomorrow, take care, and as they say, namaste.